Hoops, Homes, and Hustle. We've got Tony Williams on the pod today.
I'm super excited, man. I'm actually a U of L fan.
I know.
So that's the whole point. Like, I'm actually a U of L fan. So that's the thing that I'm not sure you are a Louisville fan.
I'm from Louisville.
Okay, fair enough.
I have friends that played
Fair
there.
enough.
Fair
enough. You got me.
Tony and I,
You got me.
we went to school. I went to high school with a lot of guys that played football while he was there.
Okay.
He knew some of my friends that some of them played basketball. They were just athletes. They played basketball and football. By the time they got to U of L. So I mean, myself, I didn't go to U of L. I went to another school here in Kentucky, but not a big name one. But our football team, we've been undefeated since 1943. So. Undefeated. Transylvania University.
Undefeated since 1943?
They disbanded the team when World War II happened, and they haven't lost a game since. So it's one of those perfect streaks in sports history. So Lexington, Kentucky, Transylvania University.
Look it up. Undefeated.
Better record than Michigan. We don't like to talk about those guys at all because Michigan's, Milton's a Michigan fan as well. But,
yes, I am.
But Tony played basketball at U of L, played overseas, heck of a nice guy. He works with Supreme Lending, teaches shooting, has NIL deals he's working on with NIL companies. So man of many, many talents. So
that's awesome. And today's show is brought to you by Supreme Lending. And I'm Milton Ali.
And I'm Hampton Skurlock.
And we want to welcome you to the Investor Tribe podcast.
Late night grind, got the cash in the flow. Flipping these dreams, what's the portfolio grow? Brick by brick, stacking wealth in the zone. Investor Tribe, Obs, where the hustle is home.
From shooting hoops in Argentina to scoring deals now with loans, we got Tony Williams, and we're going to talk about lessons on the court and how that's translated into the business that you've been able to build over the years. And so, welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
We're super excited, man.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
you have a presence that whenever you walk in the building, whenever you walk in a room, it's hard to not know, right? So that is so cool. And I know you've had your journey, and I've known you since you've transitioned into being a loan officer.
Absolutely.
And you're wearing a different hat, right? And you connected with the good people over at Supreme Lending. And so, but before we get into all of the business stuff, I just kind of want to, talk about how did you're originally from Louisville, correct?
Yes, from Louisville.
Okay.
Born in Frankfort, Kentucky, where my mom and dad were students at Kentucky State University.
Shout out to Kentucky. Shout out to K-State.
Yeah, they probably should have been in class, but here I am today.
That is awesome. That's awesome. And so kind of fast forward for us a little bit. I know that you were on the South End and went to Doss, right?
Absolutely.
And so you played for Doss.
Yes.
And then you end up going to U of L.
Yes.
And so kind of talk to us about that journey.
Yeah, so Southwest, I can't forget about my West End upbringings, but definitely Southwest. Just a kid from Louisville that dreams of playing basketball, starting in the backyards and alleys and using milk crates, and then transitioning to the parks and the gyms around Louisville, and ultimately having Denny Crum sitting in my living room to offer a scholarship, which was just an amazing feeling.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just having that, having someone like him, coming into your living room and just saying, "Hey, I want this kid.
I want you to come play for me.
I want you to come play for me." I'm sure that had to be that had to be just, kind of take us into that a little bit.
Yeah. So, between my junior and senior year in high school, I hit a growth spurt. I always considered myself a shooter. I was a guard until I grew about 4 or 5 inches in 1 year. And then all of a sudden I was in the post and still on the perimeter, but it was a transition. I wasn't a guard anymore, so to speak. So that was a nice transition. And then just, having a great basketball community in Louisville. I mean, the competition in this region just in general is always top tier. So to be able to rise above and to be offered a scholarship at the school that a lot of people in Louisville dream about playing for was a dream come true.
And they would have won a national championship in '86, so that was still fairly fresh in people's minds. You're probably 10 or so years old when they won the national
actually,
championship.
Right.
My uncle played on
Right.
the team, and that he was a redshirt freshman from Louisville as well. So before I realized who I was as a person, I mean, my family was already draped in Louisville blankets, mugs, gear, sweatshirts. I mean, we were already drenched in it before I even, started dribbling the ball.
And then Denny Crum is in your living room.
Yeah.
Like that had to be, that had to be from we may have to talk about this later, but that had to be like a whole nother vibe around the house.
Yeah.
And all the family is sort of like, man, he came to your house and want you, so I think that's pretty cool. And so kind of zoom out a little bit. What is the culture like? We have people watching from all over,
Sure.
right? So what is the culture of basketball in Kentucky?
Well, first and foremost, there are not a lot of pro teams around the state
Right.
of Kentucky.
Right.
Which means that if you are lucky enough to play on the highest level, Division I, for the University of Kentucky or any other Division I universities in this region, you're pretty much at the top of the top. So that culture around college basketball here is just bananas. We're Louisville, Kentucky.
Mhm.
Indiana, in their own right, has an argument about being basketball country.
Yeah.
Ohio has an argument there, and
Yeah.
just all of the surrounding states. I mean, this is basketball country, so its culture is there. I guess the one thing that has gone away in the culture is, kids nowadays don't play outside anymore, which I think is missing when it comes to learning from guys that are older than you, that are bigger and
Development.
stronger than you, that don't care about babying or pacifying you, and will kick your butt up and down that court until you come back and get better and you're ready to really compete with them. So I think that part is missing, but there's still a
That does
great
make sense.
Get out of the rat race and learn how to earn passive income with the Investor Tribe podcast.
It does.
I think so. When you said that you grew up with the milk crate, I think that milk crate is missing.
There you go.
Let's keep it real.
There
The
you go.
milk crate is
There you
missing
go.
because it forced you to hone your shot.
Yeah.
You didn't have much room. You didn't have any room.
No, it was a square.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you didn't have any room.
Yeah.
Backboard if
And
you're
so
lucky.
Right. What backboard? We had nailed the milk crate to a telephone pole.
Yep.
And so when we nailed it to a telephone pole, we had that was it.
It can go
Like
any direction once it
it
hits
can
that
go
pole.
was it that pole?
You gotta be ready.
Not to
Right.
mention, a lot of the poles had staples in them because people would post things on those poles using
Right.
staples. So then
Right.
if you hit that
You hit it
pole
the wrong way, right?
yeah,
You lost
so-
the ball.
or some skin.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. I mean, you're totally right. I think it's like there is this, but speaking to that, I think it's that developmental culture is
Absolutely.
missing
Yeah,
from what you were saying. It's like really missing now.
absolutely.
And so kind of fast forward a little bit. So you're playing and there's some success and you made a decision to play professionally. So how did that, or
He was good enough to play professionally.
well,
And he made the decision,
obviously,
so yes,
yeah, he
so,
made the
yeah.
decision to play professionally because you had that option, which is not everybody gets that, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get too spiritual, but my
Please,
goal-
you can get spiritual. This is
I
you
got
need God in order to be
Thank
great in real estate investing.
So true.
So that I totally agree. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
So really, in my mind, I was going to the NBA.
Oh, okay.
But you know how your plans are versus what God has planned for you,
Yeah.
and how they usually are two different things, right?
Oh yeah.
His plan for me was to go and see the world. One, to see the world, to learn other cultures, to realize how good I have it here, to humble me so that I could grow up. That was his plan for me, and that's really what took place. I needed some humbling. I needed to be in a country where people didn't speak your language, where the language wasn't the same, where the food wasn't what I was used to, where you have to spend time alone and figure out who you are, right? Go to a place like Izmir, Turkey, where it's third world, where the women still today wear masks over their face and aren't allowed to talk to men that are not their husbands in public, right? that's humbling, right? Jump in a taxi cab in a country like that after you've traded your American dollars in and try to get them to take you directly where you're going without them taking you on a tour around the country in order to eat up the money that you just transferred into their currency.
That sounds way
right?
too specific,
Yeah,
Tony.
no, it's
like,
real.
like
It's humble.
that sounds
So-
way too specific.
so-
Has that
so-
happened before? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
happened,
okay.
And, I spoke about it before, but really the truth is that I needed to grow up. I needed some humbling. And if you want to grow up and get humble, go to another country where nobody cares who you are. As a matter of fact, basketball isn't even a priority on their list. Soccer's number one after politics, right? Which when I first went overseas, it was right around 9/11, and so when that happened, going to a place, a Muslim country, an Arabic country like Turkey, Americans aren't, favorable there. So I had to keep a low profile while I was there.
Which is very difficult because
You have to duck through door frames. How
If
tall
you're
are you?
ducking
Yes.
There you go.
Which is very difficult. And so you played professionally and you settled in Argentina. Is that correct?
Well, actually, I played in Turkey first.
Okay.
I went to Italy.
Okay.
I went to France.
Oh,
I
wow.
went to Lebanon, and I finished in Argentina, where I did not even play much at all because of an injury that told me it was time to hang it up.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tony Williams, production manager and loan originator at Supreme Lending. My biggest passion in life is helping people, and I love helping people achieve the American dream of home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing right here in our community, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Let's build your future together. Give me a call at 502-322-7737, or you can email me at tony.williams@supremelending.com.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then you found real estate, and you're a great loan officer with Supreme Lending. What attracted you, to real estate and helping people with their finances and buying a home? How from the hoops to homes.
Yeah.
How'd that transition happen?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, former hooper in the community, Jason Kemmelgore, he was their mentor for me. I was looking to sell my home, and he had a mortgage company, and he invited me to his office. I was also doing some things in the community, and I saw some certificates on the wall that were awards for each month for volume for his loan officers. So that intrigued me. I was like, what are these awards for? He's like, oh, we compete every month. That's all I needed to hear was the word compete. I'm like, we're competing? What are we doing? We flipping coins? What are we doing? We racing? The word
Like, what are we
competition
doing? It's
already
competition.
sparked my interest.
Yeah, come on.
So he said, I want you to Google the average age of a loan officer. I Googled it. It was somewhere between 50 and 60 at that time. I said, okay, I got a chance to get in now and do something for some years to come, right? Then he said, Google the average income of a loan officer. I Googled the average income, and I thought about, my average earnings each year while I was playing professionally, and minus Uncle Sam being in the mix, it was comparable. And so that was another
Gone. Like,
And
it's just time to go.
Finally, he said, you could do that, or you could be a realtor. But realtors, they get in their car and they go show homes on the weekends. He said, on the weekend, I sit by my pool, I have my laptop, and I work wherever I am. So if I want to be in Florida, if I want to be at home, if I want to be in an office, as long as I can connect, I can be working. I said, nobody telling me what to do. Nobody telling me it's up to me. I said, oh, I'm in. What do I have to do?
Right.
He said, you got to pass the test. He said, most people don't pass it on the first try. You probably won't pass it on the first try either. He did it again. Okay, I see what's happening here. All right. Took the test after studying rigorously, and I passed it on the first try. And from there, I forgot everything that I had to learn on that test to realize what it actually is to be a loan officer, which are two totally different things.
I remember having a conversation with Jason Kemmelgore. He says, hey man, I need you not to say anything. I need you to keep a secret.
Yeah.
You know, you remember Tony Williams? Look him up real quick. Go Google Tony Williams. I'm like, oh snap, pro player. You know, oh, he's in Louisville. Oh, okay, cool. You know,
Yeah.
And then he says, hey man, don't tell nobody, but he's coming to work with us.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how we had Gary on the pod, and what did Gary say? You remember that? Remember, it was off the pod. It was off the, you know, it wasn't on camera, but it was off the pod.
Very
it was
similar.
the exact same guy. He said, hey, man, don't tell nobody, man. But Tony Williams is great. It's almost like, bruh, it's like,
you're a free agent there fighting over you.
You're a draft. You're a high-level draft pick no matter where you are in life.
Well,
and I love that, man.
I'm grateful, you know, because, again, humbling. You know, you the same people you meet on the way up are the people that you meet on the way down. And I've really made a conscious effort to put my best foot forward, whether it's helping clients, whether it's meeting new referral partners, or whether it's showing up on time to your podcast on the date that we said we were going to be here, because I just never know. You just never know where you're going to see somebody on the other end, and they're going to have a hand ready to help you or not, depending on the way you treated them. So that's right. Kind of a motto that I have followed since going and living overseas and coming back and just having that whole experience.
Running a small business is hard. You shouldn't have to be an editor, a marketer, a brand ambassador, a videographer. We have, fortunately, Bespoke Marketing that does that work for us. You can reach them at bespokemarketing.org. Bespoke Marketing, connections tailor-made.
I love that. And so as a real estate agent, you know, if I were to share with you in a day in the life, it'll look a little bit crazy. And I am, because you're right. We do drive everywhere. We're in everywhere. I was in E-Town the other day.
Wow.
I'm all over the place, right? Yeah. I'm in LaGrange another day.
Yeah. Listing paperwork this morning.
Yeah. Just pictures. I listed a haunted house today.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's, you know,
we don't know if it's haunted. It's not disclosed.
It wasn't a haunted house.
It no,
it's not a haunted house. It looks like it. You know, so yeah, so I mean, so it's just so cool. So go through what a typical day in the life of a loan officer is.
Oh, wow. So really, it's about waking up with a purpose every single day, right? My kids are my why. My wife is my why. My family is my why.
Come on.
So you're not going to have anybody telling you what to do, and you're not going to have business just come and fall in your lap. So again, you have to wake up with a sense of purpose. You have to have an idea at least a week or the night before of what your plan is for that following day. And the truth of it is, just like what your plan is versus what God's plan is, it could go totally different than the way you plan it.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I have my referral partners, my real estate agents, my financial advisors that I lean on to give me opportunities, which we call leads, which ends up putting me in front of someone that's looking to purchase a home. And my job is to get as many leads and build up rapport and relationships with those referral partners, so that once I provide quality service and I do what I say I'm going to do for them and for their clients, they want to send every next opportunity to me. What I know to be true about loan officers, just like with real estate agents, there's someone calling my referral partners, other loan officers, every day. So the moment that you're not at top of mind, the moment you're not providing that quality service, there's somebody else knocking on their doors ready to take your spot. And so you have to, again, not only provide quality service, you have to stay top of mind.
That's that competition you were talking about.
That's that competition. Yeah. So if it's that guy or that young lady versus me, I have to prove why you need to give me that opportunity every single time. After we close on the deal, it's all done, and I have to go find a new opportunity. So you're only as good as your last deal, and every new opportunity, you're proving yourself once again. That's a new journey. There's never the same scenario any single day, any given day.
That's totally right. You know, when we go to a closing, I like to, one of my coaches said, hey, when you're at a closing, you know what, when that closing is done, you're unemployed again.
100%.
And it's back to work. And you better be out here working or you're going to stay unemployed.
Yeah.
And so when you get under contract, you know you got your job back.
Yes.
And so it's so important for you to be on top of that. You know, it seems like every single day you're on top of that. And so, yeah, definitely love that.
And Milton mentioned his coaching. You did coaching a little while back. You still stay involved with the game? You still doing some coaching with the kids? Or?
Absolutely. So, coached my former high school Doss, state runner-up in 2016.
Come on.
Six region champions.
Come on.
And I now coach on the weekends at Shoot 360, which is a basketball training facility in Norton Commons. And it's because I love working with the kids. I love being in the gym, hearing the ball bouncing. I love transferring some of the knowledge that I've learned into someone young, bright-eyed, ready to learn. What that does is puts me right in a position to not only mentor a kid, but to build a relationship with the kid and their parents, right? Some of these kids and parents are homeowners. Some of these parents are future homeowners. And so there's an opportunity there to multitask, keeping the main thing in that position, the main thing, which is teaching their kid. But again, opportunities arise from, if you treat my kid good, my kid loves you, why wouldn't I allow you to provide financing on my new home purchase? It almost goes in hand in hand. Again, it's relationships. So try to be relational so that if an opportunity comes, there's no reason to say, no, I don't want to work with that guy.
You're watching the Investor Tribe podcast, real estate learning made easy.
So there are people that are watching, and I know you have a question, Hampton, but I want to make sure that I, ask you this. There are people that are watching this podcast or listening right now, and they may be in your position, meaning they're transitioning.
Sure.
They're looking to make a change. They're looking to figure out they either played or they did another career entirely, and they're looking to make a transition. What advice would you give to people that are in that transitional phase?
I would tell them to lean on their sphere of influence. I would tell them to come outside and meet with people. I would tell them to be punctual and to keep their word, whatever that word is. Whatever you say that you can and will do, do it. If you can't do it and you're not going to keep that obligation, don't say it. That's what I would say. And then they might say, well, where do I start? Well, start with finding someone that's already doing what you want to do and allow them to mentor you, and you follow them and you learn everything you can. You become a sponge and a chameleon because, again, we're changing what we were used to and we're becoming something new. Competition, sports, basketball, coaching, all of those things are unparalleled in life. You have to be a good teammate. You need to be a better teammate to Hampton, okay? Hampton needs to be a great teammate to you, right? Because without it, it doesn't work.
So he's saying our podcast needs a coach.
Right. Well, guess what?
So you're hired.
but to have a good coach, you also need to be coachable.
Hampton, you need to be coachable. Stop ball hogging. You hog the ball every time, man. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm open. And you just like, no, you just go for it.
Because you can't shoot. You need some help. Shooting stroke. That silky smooth shooting stroke you got.
What?
See, I was a shooting guard too in 8th grade. I was left-handed,
okay.
and I could dish. And I was a soccer player, so I was a defensive specialist and a point guard. But just my growth spurt never came. I had size 12 shoes in 7th, 8th grade, and they thought I was gonna be big, and then I wasn't. So I stuck with soccer and swimming, thank goodness. But I would pass to Milton, but the last time I hit the ball in his face, and it just wasn't pretty, and I don't want to hurt the guy.
Yeah.
So. I'm just joking. Milton's I'm sure he's a heck of an athlete, but there's 2 out of the 3 people behind the microphone were professional athletes. And I'm not going to say which one wasn't, But you still have some college eligibility left, so there's still hope, right?
There's still hope.
There's still hope. Put me in, Coach.
I'm not sure if there's any hope.
I need to be humble. I need to take a lesson from Coach on understanding to be humble.
Fair enough. Fair
that
enough.
brings me to my third point. You got to be able to handle a loss well, right?
Yeah,
you don't know how to lose. If you handle winning the total opposite as you handle losing, you're going to have a problem not only in the sport, you're going to have a problem in life. You need to learn how to be more even keel, not too high, not too low. And again, I'm still speaking to that person you said. The advice I would give is learn how to win with grace and learn how to take a loss without feeling like it's the end of the world.
I'm with you there, man. I mean, that's I think that is super important. Hampton?
Take the loss. You just got to go back to work or work on hone your craft, work on your skills.
That's so true.
Get back on the horse. There's a lot of analogies there.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
And actually, you talked about being a team, and our producers shot us a message up there. Said, "Do you work with Dean Baumert?"
Yes,
it's over there.
Love
I guess
Dean. Dean is like a brother to me. He's the GM at Shoot 360. He gave me the opportunity, along with Peyton and Patience Siva, which I love dearly as well. And it's just been
Peyton.
A great
Shout
thing.
out to Peyton Siva.
Yes,
he was a Detroit Piston.
Yes, great
so
people.
Shout out to Peyton Siva.
Absolutely.
Another Louisville Cardinal.
I got a picture with him. He was at Homerama, and I was working Homerama that year, and he pulled up, so I got a pic. Super humble dude, super great guy. I was just like fanning out because
some people were born with it. I had to learn it. he was born with it.
So that's super cool. That's super cool. And so, we want to just thank you for coming on out today. I think we've learned a lot, and we learned a whole lot. What we're going to do is link in the description how people can contact you.
Sure.
Right? That you're working with people. So just to kind of get into a little bit before we go.
And they can get pre-approved with
They
them.
can get pre-approved, right? That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, so we're just going to talk through what kind of loan products you're working with. I know you work with first-time home buyers. I know you're going to work with, because at the heart of investing is the purchase, right? So at the heart of the investment is the purchase. We may buy a property for a different reason as an investor, yet a lot of investors don't own their own personal home. Did you know? You know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah.
And you know what? To each his own. If I'm an investor and I flip properties and I want to live in a apartment or condo that I don't own for whatever reason, that's your personal preference.
That's
but
true. That's true.
For someone that wants to own a home and become an investor, you almost have a 2-for-1 opportunity, because for many people, your first investment is your first home that you live in, right? So
talk about it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different strategies that people can take on to ultimately become homeowners, investors, flippers that sell, or flippers that hold, and that really can put you in the game, just like on the court.
Yeah, we're definitely with you. We're definitely with you there.
Yeah.
So we do want to, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Absolutely.
We want you to come on back. We're going to have you back. And,
for all of your lending needs, Kentucky, you said you do Indiana, Florida as well.
Absolutely.
So click the link below to get pre-approved, or reach out to Tony, give him a call, shoot him an email, and you're in good hands. With Supreme Lending, they do great work over there. So we're very, very glad to have you today. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Hampton Scurlock.
And I'm Milton Ali. And skip the guesswork. Join the Investor Tribe.
The Investor Tribe podcast is brought to you by the Investor Tribe, all rights reserved, featuring Hampton Scurlock and Milton Ali, executive producer Drew Cookenmaster, produced and distributed by Bespoke Marketing.